another lovely Monday evening. To everyone listening to me, this welcome on board to another edition of Fitness Radio Pensioners 106.7 FM. Barry Goni in the city of Ibadan. This is where we keep you up to date on various health tips and, of course, giving you in-depth analysis of what you should do and what you should not do when it comes to keeping fit and, of course, having a perfect health. My name is Raymond, Tolulope. And I say welcome on board to another wonderful edition. Of course, we have the whole house are full to the brim as usual. We're ready to take you the next 45-50 minutes. Another wonderful edition of Fitness. Not the guest now. The crew is in the building.
We're no more guests again.
No, not the guest.
We're now Omonile. Omonile rather.
So everybody do. I have Madam Romoka in the Keromli. Welcome.
Good evening, viewer listeners at home. Good evening, Raymond. Thank you for having me.
Okay, welcome back. We have Dr. Timidayo Akinwumi.
Thank you very much, Raymond. As usual, it's always a pleasure to be here. It's a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Okay, wonderful time. Not to waste time because we came on board a bit late, and so we have to cover up. So we have to say very big sorry to all our listeners, but we are here for you. And of course, before we go into today's topic, like we used to do, in case you're just joining in for the very first time, just listening to this program for the very first time, you can go straight on Facebook and watch us live and see everything we are doing. Pensioners FM on Facebook. Pensioners FM on Facebook. You can go to Google Play Store and download the app Pensioners FM so that you can listen live. Of course, you can go to our website www.pensionersfm1067.com. www.pensionersfm1067.com. Of course, you'll be live. I can watch and listen to everything we are doing here. Before we go quickly, every Monday routine, I call it Monday tonic. What you should do before you jump into any exercise. Amanda Romoke will take us through that in a jiffy.
Thank you, Raymond. Like we do advise ourselves every Monday on this beautiful health program, that there are some certain things we need to make sure that they are intact, they are in the right place before we can embark on any activity or any physical activities. We talk about the BP, which is very, very important. We need to know our state of health, our health status, because if your BP is on the higher side, they will advise you to do this or that before you can embark on exercise. Because the reason is not far-fetched. If you are having high blood pressure and you are into physical activities and you do more than what it is needed, there may be crisis. That is the more reason why we must make sure that our BP is in good condition. And if there are some that they do have low one, hypo, which is not good as well. So we can't detect this unless we check our BP so that we'll be able to know whether we are on the right side. Another one is about the blood sugar. Some people will not even know if they are diabetics or not. They say, okay, how much of them are diabetics? You need to find out. If you do the test, they'll be able to tell you that, okay, you are diabetic. Because if you are diabetic and you have low sugar and you go on for the physical activities, you may collapse. That is the essence of running those tests, which is very, very paramount to us. The last one is to know the state of your heart. If your heart is functioning very well or there is any problem with your heart, which is ECG test, is very, very important. In actual fact, is more important than any other thing, because if you run the test, they'll be able to establish the fact that you are limited to a particular program. Maybe this program no go area, that program you can do it, maybe only aerobic. They can decide to give you any program with the result of the ECG, but if you don't do it how do we know the state of your heart? Whether your heart is functioning or there is stone in it or is bleeding, anything may happen to the heart, but unknown to anybody except if you do the test. That's the only thing that can, give us the true picture of your heart. So after we might have done all aforementioned, the next thing is to be in good attire. The attire that has to do with exercise, not that you put on bedroom slippers and Ankara and say, okay, they said that we should be jumping up, start jumping up. Maybe you don't need jumping up. There are some people, if they carry out the test, they will tell them that anything that has to do with jumping, don't go there. But if you don't know, you just say, they said that we can embark on exercise anytime. So I'm free. Let me be jumping up. You jump up and it may be out of your hand. So let's key into those things that we've mentioned if you want to embark on any exercise. And we make sure that we drink plenty of food, because anybody that is doing exercise, there is need for you to take plenty water. The reason is not far-fetched. You are burning the excessive fat. As a result of that, you will sweat so that you won't be dehydrated. You need to be hydrated. So by the time you are doing the exercise, you are sweating, you need to replenish the water back. You can drink water before the exercise, during the exercise, and after the exercise, all allowed. So you know what you are doing so that you can get the result is very, very important. Ohun tí a ti rọra sọ ní èdè àfẹnifìtìn wẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí ni pé tí a bá fẹ́ ṣe eré ìdárayá, ẹ jẹ́ kí a rí dájú pé ìfúnpá wa a lọ yẹ̀wò, ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ìwọ̀n tí ó yẹ kó jẹ́. Tí a bá ní ìfúnpá gíga, tí a bá lọ ṣe eré ìdárayá, ó lè ju agbára wa lọ tí wàhálà dẹ̀ lè tibẹ̀ yọ. Bákan náà ni àwọn tó máa ń ní ìtọ̀ ṣúgà, a lè dédé mọ̀ àfi tí wọ́n bá ṣe àyẹ̀wò tó dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe fún ti àárọ̀ tó ń pè ní fasting. Ṣe àpérù yẹn bóyá oúnjẹ tó ti jẹ láti ìrọ̀lẹ́ àná o, so wọ́n lọ bí aago mẹ́jọ àárọ̀ yìí wọ́n lọ ṣe àyẹ̀wò náà, wọ́n á fi lè fi àrídájú mọ̀ pé okay, ẹni yìí ní diabetes àbí kò ní diabetes kó tó di pé bẹ̀rẹ̀. Torí tó bá ní diabetes tí ó bá yẹ pé sugar level ẹ̀ low, tó bá bọ́ síbi ẹ̀rọ tó máa fi ń gun Ìbàdàn sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lásán, tó bá lò ṣẹ́jú 5 ẹlẹ́ran lè túkùn o. Ló fi jẹ́ wípé kì í ṣe wípé a kàn ń sọ tá à ń sọ yìí, n tó yẹ kí a ṣe ni à ń sọ. Bákan náà àyẹ̀wò tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe fún ti ọkàn tí wọ́n pè ní ECG ó ṣe pàtàkì. Èyí ni ó jẹ́ ká mọ̀ bí ẹni ṣe ní agbára tó àti okun tó láti lè ṣe pé à ń jẹ́ orí ẹ̀ gbé ẹrù tó fẹ́ rù yìí. Ó lè jẹ́ pé bóyá láti máa gbé irin kò yẹ kó débẹ̀, a lọ bẹ̀ á lọ máa gbé irin nígbà tí ò bá ṣe àyẹ̀wò tá à ń sọ yìí. Àyẹ̀wò yìí ṣe pàtàkì débi pé òun ni ó fún wa ní irú eré ìdárayá tẹ́ni yẹn lè ṣe. Eléyìí o kó ṣe, eléyìí kó má ṣe, bóyá wọ́n rí nǹkan kan òkúta nínú ọkàn rẹ̀ ni, bóyá wọ́n sì rí tí ọkàn rẹ̀ tí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ṣe ń bẹ àbí nǹkan kan ṣe ń ṣe, àbí ó ti láti ní ìṣòro kan àbí mi. Tí wọn ò bá ṣe ìdániwò yìí, a lè mọ̀. Kò ṣe wọ́n kọ́ síwájú orí pé ẹni yìí o ó nírú àrùn báyìí o. Ló fi jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn kìíní ẹ jẹ́ ká mójútó. Ẹni tó bá ní ìtọ̀ ṣúgà, tí blood sugar ẹ̀ bá low jù, tó bá gorí ẹ̀rọ tó ń pè ní treadmill tí wọ́n máa ń gùn láti Ìbàdàn sẹ́kọ̀ọ́, nǹkan lè ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ló fi jẹ́ pé ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ ibi tí a kù sí. Tá bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣeré ìdárayá yìí, ẹ jẹ́ kí a wọ aṣọ tó jẹ mọ́. Ìyẹn pé ká gba agbádá wọ̀ pé inú ilé mógùn àbí kí n rò máyà kí n bọ́ sórí treadmill tí ó wà nínú yàrá mi kí n wá wọ Dunlop sí, ó lè yọ kó tún kan lẹ́sẹ̀ ọlọ́mọ tó já ṣeré ìdárayá dáràn. Ló fi jẹ́ pé aṣọ tí a wọ̀ gan náà kó fi hàn pé tó máa rí ẹni yìí ó ṣeré ìdárayá. Bí àrùn yẹn ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Okay, you've listened why you should do various steps before you go on any exercise. Just to wake up and feel like, okay, I'm okay. I feel like there are so many precautions before you embark on any exercise. Last week, we talked about hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And during the week, I decided to do my blood pressure.
Hey. Raymond for president.
President of where? Let's.
Ṣé ẹ̀rù ń bẹ̀ ẹ́ ni?
Of where? Which association? Where? President of where?
President sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀.
Sọ̀rọ̀ sókè president.
So mine went 119 to 67.
Oh, that's good. That's not bad. That's
normal.
Yeah, okay. You're okay.
Okay, today we'll be going for malnutrition. That is the topic for today. Malnutrition. Another big one. It doesn't look like a disease for me anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
Raymond, you're wrong. Yes,
Okay.
I'm happy you've mentioned that. And what you just said right now is not this. Is not just the sentiment that that you are alone in. But that you that's just you with you alone. Ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa máa ń gbà ní tó máa ń jẹ́ wá sọ́kàn wọn tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa malnutrition. I don't know how we can call
tí
malnutrition
wọ́n
in Yoruba.
sọ bí kí èèyàn máa kí ó ṣe àfẹ́kù n tó yẹ tó nílò ní ara àbí kí ó tún pọ̀ jù ní àwọn abala kan tí ò fi gbèdéke lé fún àpẹẹrẹ ẹni tí tá bá fẹ́ jẹun ní ìsinsìnyí pé ní bá ṣe ń jẹun bẹ́ẹ̀ bí àwọn dókítà ṣe ń sọ fún wa pé percentage oúnjẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan yẹ kó wà bóyá 50 àbí 55 ní carbohydrate o protein jẹ́ 25 o fat and oil oníye tó jẹ́ o àti mineral gbogbo ẹ̀ tó yẹ kó wà ń bẹ̀ nígbà bá fẹ́ jẹ tẹ́ jẹ carbohydrate 99 ṣé o pé gbogbo yòókù ti láàkì nìyẹn ibi tó bá ti ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn malnutrition wà ibi tó bá ti jẹ́ pé ìmíì náà wà tó jẹ́ pé ó lè jẹ́ pé protein yẹn ní ó jẹ́ 60 tí carbohydrate gan ò ní ju 20 lọ gbogbo ó ṣàrí balabala báyẹn tó bá ti ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ibi tí malnutrition ti ń wáyé nìyẹn under malnutrition wà over malnutrition wà ṣé wá rí èyí tó jẹ́ under yẹn ni bí ìwọ̀n ìyẹ́ ni weight ẹlòmíì ó ṣe rí ó máa ń sábà wọ́pọ̀ láàrin àwọn arúgbó wa tó pé wọn ò ní lè jẹun dáradára mọ́ wọ́n máa ní low weight wọn ò ní tó ẹ̀ka rẹ̀ sọ́n pa ọ̀rọ̀ weight njẹ́ òní a sọ pé tó bá ti less than 18.5 underweight nìyẹn so ara àwọn nǹkan tí ó máa ń fà á ó náà dẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan kan tó máa ń fà á níbi bí a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa oúnjẹ jíjẹ ẹlòmíràn wà kò gbàgbọ́ ní pé gbogbo all classes of food ló gbọ́dọ̀ present sínú oúnjẹ kí ẹ̀ ṣáà ti jẹun kínú ṣáà ti kún pé ọmọ yìí ṣe rí bí ṣe rí un lọ́sibítù wọn ní oúnjẹ tó ń jẹ ọ̀sẹ̀ kínní dáadáa bí ẹ bá jẹ rẹ́sì múrí márùn ní máa jẹ o rẹ́sì múrí márùn kò ní ẹ̀fọ́ kò ní ẹran kò ní dòdò kò ní gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣara lórí kò sì ní ẹyin so rẹ́sì múrí márùn yẹn is of no use kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ gidi tó yẹ kó ṣe lára ọmọ rẹ́sì múrí márùn nìkan ló fi jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ níwọ̀n tó ẹ̀rí pé nígbà tá a wà ní iléèwé ní ìgbà ayé john nígbà tí ayé tójú ṣe kínní dáadáa wọ́n máa ń se oúnjẹ níléèwé wa ni wọ́n á se rice wọ́n á dín dòdò sí wọ́n á dẹ̀ ro ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́ gbúre because ọmọ bí gbúre yẹn ṣe jẹ́ water leaf bó ṣe important sí ní tó máa supply ṣe rí dòdò dídín àti ẹyin ẹ̀rí pé omi ìtọ́ba ní kò kí ń jẹun ní ilé ìwòsàn wọn á ní pé kán dín dòdò àti ẹyin fún ọmọ àwọn nǹkan tí ó contain tó dẹ̀ pé yẹn lè tètè rí result ẹ̀ ló fi jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ kékeré náà máa ń sábà jẹ́ ju tó máa jẹ́ wọ́n sáré lọ sáré bọ̀ wọ́n á bọ̀ ní tágbàlagbà bá jẹ́ ó lè tún dà sí nǹkan míì gan nígbà tó pé ìdíwé tá a fi jẹ nǹkan àwọn àgbàlagbà á fẹ́ jẹ púpọ̀ ẹlòmíì ẹyin ó yẹ kó jẹ ànẹ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ náà sọ ó lè fẹ́ dín ẹyin jẹ búrẹ́dì ní sípò dín ẹyin 4
ẹyin 6 mẹ́jọ
ṣé adequate balance lápè ní balance diet náà lápè ní ṣé mo oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn a kì í ṣe nǹkan ní the right kínní ìlú ilẹ̀ àti rí pé tí a bá fẹ́ lọ ra nǹkan ní àwọn departmental store wa àìbọ́dà láti ẹ̀ ti wo nutritional facts tó wà ń bẹ̀ nílùú èyìnbó bí president ìlú èyìnbó bá débẹ̀ báyìí yóò mú agolo nǹkan tó fẹ́ rà yẹn á wo nutritional facts ẹ̀ á wo iye fat and oil tó wà ń bẹ̀ á wo carbohydrate á wo protein á wo gbogbo ẹ̀ kó tó rà ṣùgbọ́n àtàbà sílẹ̀ a lè kó agolo yẹn 25 á kàn lọ sínú basket níta fẹ́ rà nìyẹn á rà sílé àmọ́ bóyá ẹni ní underlying ailment tó yẹ pé ìkànnù àwọn nǹkan tó rà jọ rẹpẹtẹ yìí ó lè tún máa dákún àrùn tí ń ṣe tí ò ní kú òun bẹ̀ bọ̀rọ̀ ló fi jẹ́ wípé a gbọ́dọ̀ àwọn nǹkan kan kí ìjọba fún wa ní ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ lórí bí a ṣe ń tẹ̀ ń ra nǹkan sílé gan oúnjẹ tá a jẹ sínú ara wa sódà àtún ní dáràn síjọba gan lọ́rùn nígbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá kó gbogbo orú oúnjẹ tó yẹ pé eléyìí bóyá ó ti ní àìkíní tẹ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ tó lọ ń kó oúnjẹ tó yẹ kó ó tún ní tó ní sódíọ̀mù jọ tó lọ kó jọ sínú báskẹ̀tì tó ra bíi 20 òun náà ló fọwọ́ ara rẹ̀ ra nǹkan tí yóò máa fún ní nǹkan tí ò ṣe dára ló fi jẹ́ pé gbogbo orú eléyìí náà ló yẹ kí a máa ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lé lórí ó ṣe pàtàkì oúnjẹ tá a bá ń jẹ gbogbo nǹkan ìgbésí ayé tá à ń gbé kì í ṣe pé ká jẹ oúnjẹ rìgìdì ní bí kò ṣe pé kí á jẹ oúnjẹ kí ó dẹ̀ ní ìtumọ̀.
Thank you very much, Kerami, for that. that was very, very extensive and good. All the same. Really, the sentiment you expressed the other time, Raymond, about malnutrition is one that's commonly shared by many people. Really, that when we talk about malnutrition, a lot of people think it's important. We went to malnutrition, but you'll be surprised to know that malnutrition is one major thing that's affecting people around the world. I mean, when we put when we put the whole world together, we have about 7 billion people, Abi.
Yeah.
We have statistics from WHO who say that about 1.9 billion of the 7 billion people on Earth are malnourished.
1.9.
1.9 billion, and that's adults. So
Wait.
1.9 billion adults.
Last week, you said 1.13 of the world population is hypertensive. Today, 1.9.
It's all of us.
Is this what we are discussing today is part of what is causing all this hypertension. Obesity is the grandfather, like we do emphasize on this program. Once you are obese, you are at risk of having this, that, and those. I think you are getting it.
Yes.
So ìgbà tí a bá jẹ oúnjẹ tó tọ́ àti tó yẹ, àwọn tá máa rí náà ni obesity, underweight. Ṣé underweight yẹn náà àrùn ni on its own. Ẹlòmíì lè gbé ebi kò gbé wọn náà ni. Bí o ṣe gbé wọn gbogbo nǹkan ló lack. So gbogbo immunity rẹ̀ gan kò lè àbí ṣé mo gbọ́ ẹni dókítà. So gbogbo àti ilẹ̀ ní gbogbo nǹkan lè yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ní ètò. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá kéèyàn ní owó rẹpẹtẹ ni láti jẹun. Ẹlòmíràn wà tó wá pé tó bá fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀fọ́ tá à ń sọ yìí, ó lè ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ 100 naira kó fi ọjọ́ 5 jẹ, yóò mọ gbélé náà, yóò mọ ta mi sí ni. Gbogbo nutrition tó wà gbogbo nutrient tó wà nú ẹ̀ ó ti tán.
Ó ti bá day one lọ.
Ẹ̀fọ́ gan zìrè tí a bá láà fẹ́ ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ níbi ìdíwé tá a fi máa ń ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ kọ́ ni wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ẹ̀fọ́. Tí ẹ bá lọ sí àwọn ibi tó ti ń jẹ ẹ̀fọ́ tó ń gbádùn ẹ̀fọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe kọ́ nìyẹn. Àwa ń bí àmú àdẹ́ta àrò gbogbo ẹ̀ àwa gbé ó pẹ́ lórí iná gbogbo ẹ̀.
Àkọ́kọ́ gbóná.
Àkọ́kọ́ gbóná.
Àrẹ.
Àfomi kan ń àfìrẹ́. Nígbà kan nílò ní láti ṣànù ká ṣànù báyìí ká dẹ̀ kó sínú sauce dáwà ti fẹ́ fi ṣe kó dẹ̀ hó láàrin ìṣẹ́jú mélòó ká dẹ̀ gbé sọ̀kalẹ̀. Ẹ rí i pé ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn gan máa green wá ni kò ní yọ kọlọ brown. Tó bá ti pẹ́ jù lórí iná ó ti yọ brown. Bó ṣe wà ní ẹlòmíràn ṣe máa fi jẹ̀kọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni fún bí orí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì, yóò mọ tami sí, yóò mọ gbélé náà, ó ti bàjẹ́, kò sí nǹkan, kò sí nutrient kankan nú ẹ̀ mọ́, ó ti di ìkòròfo. Ló fi jẹ́ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe. Tá bá fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀fọ́ yìí náà, ẹ̀fọ́ 100 naira bó ṣe wà nísìn, tán bá ṣe tán ká lè bù ká fi ra jẹ scoop of rice báyìí ká jẹ tán. Ẹlòmíràn fẹ́ 100 naira yẹn bó ṣe wà yẹn, ó lè fọ̀sẹ̀ méjì jẹ́, wọ́n máa bù díẹ̀díẹ̀ fúnra. Ẹ̀fọ́ yìí ẹ̀fọ́ wọn ó kóra lásìkò tá a wà yìí. Níta nílò ni òǹkàlùkù gbọ́dọ̀ pọ̀pọ̀ṣọ̀ kálukú.
Ẹ̀bà yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ pọ̀.
Kí ni kó lè kún. Kò sì yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa gbára wa nímọ̀ràn gbogbo tó yẹ ká máa jẹ tí gbogbo nutrient yóò fi pé sí ara wa. Bó ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ yogurt náà à ń sọ ní ìjọ òní tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò yìí, ara àwọn diet ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wá bí láti mú yogurt ó mọ̀mọ́ tóbi sí ó níṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Òǹkàlùkù gbogbo kíní yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí á bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ pé eléyìí o iṣẹ́ báyìí ló ń ṣe fún eléyìí gbọ́dọ̀
kó wà ní ìtumọ̀ tó yẹ kó wà òyìn la pè balanced diet. So and according to how WHO defined, they said malnutrition refers to deficiencies, excesses. So it's not just pé kíní yóò tó nìkan. Tó bá excess tó bá pọ̀ jù náà ara malnutrition náà ni. Imbalances, in a person's intake of energy, and so ìtumọ̀ rẹ̀ ni pé o jẹ 1 o mú 2 jáde, you are still malnourished. Tàbí o jẹ 2 o fi 1 jáde, you are still, there has to be a balance in how you are taking it in and how you are giving it out. Now when we're talking about malnutrition, as Ambassador said, it's not just about a person not getting enough nutrients. It's a broad term that covers a person being, number one, undernourished. So undernutrition is part of malnutrition, and the second part of malnutrition itself is overweight or obesity. Do you understand? When we're referring to undernutrition, that's the first category. We're having terms like a person wasting, a person being underweight, a person stunt. Exactly. I mean, you get.
Ní poultry gan tí ẹ bá rí adìyẹ tí ó runt tí wọn ò fún lóúnjẹ dáadáa, bóyá competition jẹ yẹn kò ní gbèrú. Ó ní iye ìgbà tí irú broilers nísìn 10 weeks ni wọ́n fi máa ń ṣe fún ọdún, bí àti October kan náà ti máa stock àwọn broilers. Ẹ wà rí mi runt báyìí ló máa rí, kò ní yin wọ́, ìmí ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ yóò ga gògòrò. Ṣé mo ó depend lórí bóyá àwọn yẹn wọ́n staff wọn ò jẹ́ ráàyè jẹun, bóyá kò sì ní ìmínú láti jẹun. Ẹ wà rí lára èyí tí ò bá jẹun dáadáa lẹ́fìn mọ̀ pé eléyìí nígbà tán fọwọ́ nù lára ni.
Now, when this now happens in we human beings, that the person is not getting the right amount of nutrients that he or she is supposed to get, what happens is the person just person becomes undernourished, which is one of the classifications under malnutrition that we are talking about today. Also, when a person is not even taking more than he's supposed to, of course, the person will be overweight. You have obesity or have other diet-related problems like heart diseases or diabetes or cancer and strokes and the likes. So in this second category, we call those ones overweight or people that are having obesity. So malnutrition is a broad, complex term that carries all these problems or imbalances in what we eat, in our state of health, and in conjunction with our environment. So it's a broad term that puts all these things together into in cognizance.
Okay, thank you so much. We're talking about food today. Question, Boku.
Yes.
When you talk about, when you were talking, I was trying to do a kind of reminisce, and I think on this program I've once asked that I think maybe each human being might need a nutritionist. Look at how many people can balance up all these classes of food.
No, you'll be surprised if we have a dietitian or we have a nutritionist and this expert sat down with us to analyze the foods that we eat. A lot of us will fall short. A lot of us,
including doctor that is talking.
Yeah. Yes, no, it's very, very true. I'm also very, very true, because not something we consciously think about anymore. Bam, you've eaten. Before you balance, you didn't even think about whether the thing was balanced diet or not. You are only concerned about you understand? But we we cannot separate our health or how our health will fare. We cannot separate it from the food we eat. We cannot separate it from how we live. So what that now means is that in eating, we have to be conscious about what kind of foods we eat and in what proportion do we take them. We have to be conscious. So you, as you have said, if you have a nutritionist or a dietitian sit now, Raymond, Jerry, you'll be surprised that what you've been eating a lot of times is not balanced diet. And this is why we are discussing this on this program.
What I've been eating a lot of time has not been balanced diet. Okay, well, today I will know how to eat balanced diet, and I know somebody listening will be.
Good news.
I have always had that belief anyway. Let me bring in a little bit of sport in here. When I was growing up and I see possibly a 16-year-old European looking so big, I always have that. For this Nigeria, we are not eating well, because I always believe we have stunted growth. That has been my own belief. I mean, so when I begin to compare, I look at 20-year-old guy.
The physique.
I look at the physique and I'm like,
no, remember, you have a point, but let's look at it this way. When we're talking about malnutrition or how we eat, we're not just talking about food. Let me put it there. We're talking about three major things. Number one is the food itself. Number two is our environment. Don't forget, number two, that environment we cannot separate it from how we eat or from our nutrition. We cannot separate it. And then number three is our health itself, the state of our health itself. So for each,
that one has to do with the metabolism.
Yes,
aspect. You look at that one as well, because if I eat now, the same food, the way we react, the way our system processes is different.
They are different. So
that one is another thing on its own.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Automatically, so when we now
compare we must not forget that we are different. As long as our environment is different, our state of health is different, and the foods we eat are different, we're going to have different outcomes or different indices to measure our malnutrition apart from each other.
Environment then you go oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ jẹ nísìn ayéra àwọn ìyá lọ́jà wọn gbà mí tán bá jókòó wọn jẹun lọ́wọ́ tán bá rí ẹni tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ajé fún wọn á fi kíní bò ní wọn lè má padà sídìí oúnjẹ yẹn mọ́ báyẹn kọ́ lóyìnbó ṣe ń jẹun tí ẹ bá dé anywhere nílùú òyìnbó tí ó bá tó time break wọn á ti kíní wọn á sọ fún yín pé no kẹ́ ẹ gbé mílíọ̀nù dé báyìí kẹ́ fẹ́ rajà lọ́wọ́ wọn báyìí long time kódà ká má jẹun wọn á kàn jókòó bá wọn wò yín nínú gíláàsì ẹ máa wò pé àbẹ́ àwọn eléyìí torí Ọlọ́run ẹ̀ wá lọ́jà àtà ni náà tún kó wá bá yín àwọn ní time tiwọn ó dẹ̀ ní nǹkan tó ń dedicate ẹ̀ fún bó dẹ̀ ṣe máa rí nìyẹn structure yẹn nìyẹn
lọ́dọ̀ wa ń bì break time
kò sí bírèkì kò sí ẹ wò látàárọ̀ ẹ wò ìráyè jẹun bí mo ṣe ń dá customer lóhùn adẹ̀ ń ṣe ra wa nítorí pé kí ni lágọ̀ọ́ ara gan ó ti máa béèrè fún oúnjẹ nígbà tí ó bá kọ̀ tí ò fún lóúnjẹ tó rí ń fọ́ orí iṣẹ́ àǹfọ̀mí àmọ́ tó forí fọ́ ebi nípa o àwọn store glucose yóò jáde in abundance ó máa ju bó ṣe nílò rẹ̀ lọ ara wọn tá a fi ń ṣe ra wa nìyẹn a ní ní èé jẹun àárọ̀ bọ̀ bí aago 2 ọ̀sán mo tó máa jẹun àárọ̀ rí mo sì tún tóbi náà kò mọ̀ pé nǹkan ti ṣe òun
diabetes ń bọ̀ náà
diabetes ń bọ̀ nìyẹn because ìwọ ló béèrè fún èyìnbó ò ní ever ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ láíláí ara nǹkan tí mo sọ pé èyìnbó máa ń ṣe nìyẹn tẹ́yìnbó bá dẹ̀ sí kìíní tó bá pọ́ sàárẹ̀ á lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn ni wọ́n á fún lóògùn ṣe pé over the counter ẹjọ ẹ bá ń kàkà pọ̀ àtàwọn tí mo ti jáde orí sàn fọ́ mi ni wọ́n kà fún ṣe pé ara àwọn kan tí kò lè jẹ́ kí ó dàbí ti tèyìnbó nìyẹn
environment
yàtọ̀.
ẹjẹ fẹlẹ mọ and apart from that our environment tábà gbin ilá tàbí agbin ẹ̀fọ́ ní ilẹ̀ tiwa ń bí tẹ wá gbin nílẹ̀ lòmíì ṣe pé it's not the same result you get.
Definitely.
In fact in that same fruit apple in fact when I was growing up nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ tán pè lápù ó yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ nísìnyí wọ́n pè lápù honestly àbásọ́dọ̀ nǹkan tí mo mọ̀ pé apple lélẹ́yìí ó yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tí àríbá torí níbi tí mo gbé tó bá ní apple ẹmọ kíní yìí tó máa ń dàbí white and pink yìí ó lè mímọ̀ lọ́n pè lápù wọ́n sọ ní eléyìí lápù lórí green colour so òyìnbó tó yìnbó wá ní òun jẹ́ apple ó yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tèmi ń jẹ tí n bá ní mò ń jẹ apple so these are places where environment is part of nutrition when we talk about it so it's not just about food or eating the food or
apple tẹ sọ yẹn tí ẹ bá dé àwọn ìlú mìíràn lókè òkun sáìzì apple mi ó tó àgbọn ṣe máa bá gbọn ṣe rí.
mo ti gbọ́ kìíní yẹn rí.
ó tó àgbọn tó pé ẹnìkan ní kọ́ńtì kan gbà tí mo lọ ó lòun máa mú wá ó fi aṣọ yí báyìí òun fẹ́ wá fi hàn wọ́n Nàìjíríà ọkọ ẹ̀ ní àárọ̀ oko ní ẹ́ gbogbo òwò tó kàn ó lòun ò rírú ẹ̀ rí ni ó faṣọ rápẹ̀ pé òun ò mú dé Nàìjíríà pé kán lè wò apple náà lè very juicy tó máa ń jẹ́ ìgbà tí máa ń ṣẹ́ omi dùn ní ìṣẹ́ máa ṣe yà síyàn lẹ́nu ṣàwérú apple eléyìí tó máa jẹ ẹyọ kan yẹn ẹ̀wẹ́ ó ti balance.
So you can't expect someone eating that to now have the same nutritional status as someone eating my own kind of apple. You understand? So these are the places where environment has an influence too.
Now,
when it talks about nutrition,
we've talked about environment. Now, how do we solve? Now, there are questions I'm going to bring on. Number one, when to eat. And now, but then before we go there, how do we solve this environment that we will not have a source of a kind of malnutrition?
Well, I think first of all is being aware that there's something called balanced diet that we must all inculcate in our daily routine. I mean, when I mean being aware, it goes beyond us just eating. Raymond, it goes beyond us just eating. I fẹ́ jẹun àárọ̀. This one is I fẹ́ jẹun tó ṣara lóore. Exactly. Let's stop saying mo fẹ́ jẹun tó ṣara lóore. I think that should probably be it. So we have to be aware of that first of all, so that irrespective of environment you might be in, you can always find the right food for yourself, the right balanced diet.
Fún àpẹẹrẹ, ṣé tí ẹ bá jí láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù tó bá ra ro túwó tó bu gbẹ̀gìrì sí tó sì ra fi ẹran sí. Ṣé balanced diet tó láyé yóò sí. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé kò dìgbà tí ẹ bá tó mú pé mo jẹ chicken mo jẹ kíní.
mo lọ small
mo lọ túwó kó fi gbẹ̀gìrì sí. Gbẹ̀gìrì protein. Túwó carbohydrate. Àwọn ọ́ìlì ó ti wà ọbẹ̀ ata náà máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbẹ̀gìrì gan náà. Ṣé mo oríṣiríṣi gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti wà ń bẹ̀. Ṣé ìgbà tí ó bá ti wá wà báyẹn then àwọn kan máa ń ṣe nǹkan láwọn country lóríṣiríṣi tó máa ń ṣe. Always eat food and fruit in the season.
Yes.
Tí ẹ bá ti ń jẹ, èèyàn lè ní problem malnutrition.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń jẹ oúnjẹ gan fúnra ẹ̀. Tẹ́tí wọ́n á fi fruit lé.
Gbogbo tó máa ń sísìn ìgbà bá ṣe lè jẹ́. Àsìkò tó yẹ pé ìgbà ló wà.
Nutrient ìsàgbàdo ní àbọ̀ síbẹ̀.
Àsìkò tó yẹ pé ìgbà ló wà ní tó ń rẹ̀ ní.
Nutrient ìgbà ní àbọ̀ síbẹ̀.
Àsìkò tó yẹ pé sàlà ló wà ń ta ẹja sàlà. Àgbálùmọ̀ ló wà ń ta nkálukú ló ní. Gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ pé vitamin C ló wà ńbẹ̀. Ó tún yàtọ̀ bí ìkọ̀ọ̀kan ṣe ní yàtọ̀ síra wọn. Èyí tó wà nínú ọsàn ó yàtọ̀ sí èyí tó wà nínú lemon àbí lime òun kálukú ló ní iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe fún ara àsìkò tó bá ti pọ̀ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká take advantage ìgbà yẹn ká máa fi kún oúnjẹ tí à ń jẹ ká jẹ ogun tó bá yẹ ká jẹ tí ẹ̀fọ́ bá wà ń ta nísìn ẹ̀fọ́ ebòlò ó ti ń kásẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ìgbà tó dẹ̀ wà ń ta ẹ̀fọ́ tó dáa ni àwọn mìíràn ni pé àmì láì bó ṣe ń rùn yẹn wọ́n ti ní kò sí bí a ṣe ṣe bòlò tí ò ní run àyàn ìbí ọ̀nà ṣe máa ń pè é tó ṣe bí òwe o ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn dára lára ó yẹ ká máa jẹ àsìkò tí ó bá rí pé gúre ò tẹ̀lé mọ́ sábà sí ẹ̀kọ́ kan ní ẹ̀yọ́ máa ń fà ṣàfẹ́rí rẹ̀ àsìkò yẹn ó dáa púpọ̀ jù láti jẹ fún àwọn ìdí kan àbí mìíràn àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké gan wọn máa ní kankan fún wọn kán ṣe fún wọn ká tó wá sọ pé àwọn àgbàlagbà náà ó wúlò fún everybody gúre yẹn bó ṣe wà ó sì máa ń lalẹ̀ wù Ọlọ́run fi kẹwàá lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹ̀kàn dédé bóun bí òun ẹ̀kàn bá ń bẹ̀ ni níta ẹ̀kàn nílò ní pé láti já kẹ́ ẹ̀ fọ́nù dáadáa.
mo máa ń fẹ́ béèrè pé ẹ má bínú gúre yẹn ṣọ́ máa ń gbìn ni because growing up I know that water is gúre we as in tabana fẹ́ lọ kó gúre lóko kìí pé bí a fẹ́ lọ kó níbi tàbí ó akọ̀mọ̀ pé máa ṣáà wà ń bẹ̀ ní ṣá iṣẹ́ olúwa làwọn wá dìde and you will be surprised this thing it has the right amount of nutrients to sustain every one of us because when we're talking about malnutrition it's not just about children that's another sentiment a lot of us have it's not àwọn ọmọdé ló wà affected.
ẹ rí irun orí rẹ̀ bó ṣe rí hérehére tí ó dàbí gbà yẹn pé bóyá kò sí irun lórí ẹ̀ bí ìgbà tí irun rẹ̀ lọ skin ẹlòmíì balabala ni ó ṣe rí ara rẹ̀ ló ń jẹ gidi nínú ni o tí ẹ bá irú ẹni tó bá mú tó bá jẹun gidi láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ṣé ni ló wá rí báyìí náà tún ṣe báyìí tó pé kí ni oúnjẹ náà ń ṣe a lot of things gbogbo nǹkan tó wà lára ni ó affect lójú náà mọ̀ wò kíákíá ló ń ṣe nìyí gbogbo oríṣiríṣi báyẹn ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sẹ́ni yẹn wọn kíákíá ló ń ṣe nìyí olómọ yẹn kan lọ wádìí ẹ̀ wò kò sí oúnjẹ gidi jẹ sínú ni o tó bá jẹun gidi sínú gbogbo tó kó wọnú yẹn ni ó jáde síta.
Still fitness on Pensioners 106.7 FM Agbayegoye in the city of Ibadan. Of course, today we are treating malnutrition, and of course, definitely can also be part of this on Facebook. We are still Pensioners FM live on Facebook. You can also go to Google Play Store and download our app. Of course, Pensioners FM, and of course, you can listen via our website www.pensionersfm1067.com. www.pensionersfm1067.com. Officially, I want to open the phone lines in case for people who want to call in and of course ask one or two questions. Like we used to say, don't hide your problems, don't hide your health problems. We've got experts in the building that could give you one or two advice that will be very, very important for your health. Of course, 090-81-11-1067, 090-81-11-1067, or 080-8010-1067, 080-8010-1067. Once again, 090-81-11-1067 or 080-8010-1067. And good afternoon. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Hello, you're live. 090-81-11-1067 or 080-8010-1067. Of course, we're still discussing malnutrition. Okay, the caller is back. Let's see. Hello, good evening.
Oh, I'm a pro.
Ẹ sir. Yes, sir. Orúkọ yín àbí tẹ́tí pé wá.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọmọọba R.O. Adétúnà láti Liberty Road.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Kúṣẹ́.
Yes,
ẹ jẹ́ mo kàn fẹ́ béèrè ni fún àwọn ọmọdé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Òkè wọ́n sì tọ́ba ṣe rice tàbí dòdò sí láti wá sí. Tọ́mọ yẹn kò kì í fẹ́ jẹ rice kì í fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀wà àti dòdò. Òtí láti kọ́ ló like ó lè jẹ lẹ́ẹ̀bẹ̀ẹ́ ìdá mẹ́rin. Òtí a máa ń ṣe àlè fọ́ọ̀sì kó jẹ ẹ̀wà àti dòdò yẹn.
Okay, sir. I'm a Daniel.
Ṣé rí nǹkan kan pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ kékeré ni ẹ má fọ́ọ̀sì wọn láti jẹ oúnjẹ tí wọn ò bá fẹ́ jẹ. Ṣé rí àwọn other derivative kìíní fún ẹ̀wà ẹ lè bó ẹ̀wà kẹ́ fi ṣèkúrú ẹ lè fi ṣe mọ́ínmọ́ín ẹ lè fi dín àkàrà. So tí wọ́n bá láwọn ò jẹ ẹ̀wà ẹ fi wọ́n lọ́rùn lẹ̀ ẹ wá nǹkan míì tí wọ́n fi ẹ̀wà ṣe kí wọ́n máa jẹ. And again oní carbohydrate dẹ̀ pé rice gbogbo ọmọ kékeré máa ń jẹ. Ọmọ mi wà tó yẹ pé á lóun ò jẹun bóyá bisikíìtì ni ó lè jẹun ní ẹ̀5 lójúmọ́ àbẹ́ 6 ó wà láò ju pé kẹ́ á fọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ pé ẹ̀bà yìí ló sá jẹun túláàsì bóyá sweet àti bisikíìtì kan ló jẹ ó tún jẹ pọpọ́ọ̀fù bóyá bíi 2 hours later ẹ ṣáàjẹ́ kó jẹ́ kélekèlé báyẹn ó ṣáà ti ní nǹkan tó yẹ kó ní ẹ make sure pé ó ń ní àwọn kinní yẹn by tí wọ́n kò like oúnjẹ kan ẹ wo nǹkan tó tún like tó jẹ́ pé the same value náà ni
Value ló máa fún.
òun kinní yẹn máa fún.
báwo gan lèèyàn ṣe lè tún combine ẹ̀ fún ọmọ yìí tó máa let me add to this, Ambassador. You for a child and it's very common among children. It's very common, and in fact that's why even just that we've not touched on the nutritional aspect with children. You find that this for this kind of child, what can be done is that okay, instead of ki abu ewa lot of ọmọ yìí tabawa sepo pẹ̀lú show my like it. She get. I mean, let's try to have a balance because number rice. This will not all go well. It won't give out the best result. So what we can try to do is okay. Let's try to find how can we use this same beans? How can we develop have this child develop interest in eating these beans? Is it by making it into moi? Is it exactly? Does it? And you find you'll be surprised that this child might like akara. You understand? Yes. So maybe okay, instead of giving him as beans directly, and in fact, you find a lot of children. There's nothing rigid about children. A lot of children don't know by the time you start gradually, before you know it, the same child. You have to, because we are the ones that inculcate them in what. There are so many things that
you can do. Yes. For instance, my children, they don't like eating beans. They said they will be as tall as Akim Olajuwon, that they don't want to talk because in the family, that is it in the gene. So even my daughter, she doesn't like beans. Now, what can I do? I want you to have balanced diet.
Yes.
I will prepare moi begiri.
And it's beans it's beans.
At times, if I cook beans separately, they say they don't want it. They want mixture. I will mix it. Now, I want them to be taking protein very well. Now, I will now say, okay, do you want burger? This is Ibadan burger. So I will slice the bread. I will cut it into two. I will now fry akara.
Wow.
I will put it in. I said, this is burger. Come and take your burger. Saturday burger. Every Saturday morning, burger. So that is our burger. You know, bread contains carbohydrates.
Yes.
The beans is there, and all those things, spices that I've put inside.
There's even one my wife used to do, because I must confess it. I'm also not a fan of beans. But think about it. No, let me tell you one trick that my wife does that makes me eat beans. When she makes beans, she won't just give me the beans because no, I'll just say no, I'm not taking. She'll just put plantain. Oh my God. She'll now she gets plantain and puts the plantain as if it's decoration on top of the beans. No, just give that to me. That plantain on top of spiced on the beans. Oh my God. Now put a bottle of cold water with it. And let that beans be a little bit simmering hot. You understand? I don't like beans, but you'll be surprised. I'll finish the plates and I will ask for more. So and this is the same thing with children too. If a child says, okay, a child doesn't like, and you find it's common among our children, but there's something we as parents can do. We don't have to say I don't know. But some parents do it, and Ambassador, in difference to you, I won't say it's wrong, really, because if that's what would correct that child's nutrition, and you think it's by forcing, it's by compelling, not forcing, really, but it's by compelling the child that this is what you must eat, and the child is able to still eat it. Maybe if it works well for the child, maybe no problem. But I think you can be creative, you can find other ways to make the child develop interest in that food. I think on the long time, that might be the best solution. Okay, child doesn't like eating beans, but it's just rice. Okay, what if we just do rice and beans? We cook the two together. And we now spice it up. In fact, another thing you could do, be creative about it. Well, if you say you're eating rice, this is the only thing you get to. Well, if you say you're eating this rice and beans, you have plantain, you have fish, you have egg. Tell me, which child will see all those? No, which child will see all those
everything
extra value-added services and not say he wants the better thing?
Okay, I think we have another caller. Hello, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Very good.
ayọ̀ àjòkò abámi jẹun.
Wow. Wow.
Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ìrọ̀lẹ́ mi dùn ọ̀rẹ́ tó jẹ́ sọ ẹ̀ tó ní ìlú pé no ọgbọ́n tí mo dá sí ọgbọ́n yẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mi wọ́n gbà.
Thank you very much. I really
sir.
love that. So let me mention, and you're very, very right, sir. I mean, he's very, very right, because children watch us.
Yes.
And it is what they see us doing that they will do. I mean, our children are just our mirror. It is what they see you eating.
Yes.
Sir, ma, would you believe it that my son, as of 10, I'm saying it on radio, 10 months of age, he would drag corn cob with me. Not just boiled, though,
Because-
roasted corn cob. I'm a bamidun. So, and this, I mean, this, my boy is now like over 3 years of age. Even till now, corn is you. I mean,
See, because
is
you
not.
see
And
eating
all
it.
those fruits that I don't eat is foreign to him as well. All those I want to money tell me unje
Because
but tell me unje
daddy kò máa jẹ.
So when we want to develop interest in nutrition, I mean, we want to improve our children's nutrition, because nutrition is very, very common with children, and in fact, is a precursor to a lot of illnesses among them. In fact, according to WHO, they make us understand that a child in the first 2 years of life, they call that period the window opportunity, ambassador. That within this first 2 years of life, that's when a child must get the best nutrition, because like that's the foundation. Ọmọ tó ti develop dada tó ti ń tóbi bọ̀ láti kékeré. This kind of child is not the one that will be falling into diarrhea or tá máa ṣàìsàn tá máa gbé lọ hospital lóṣooṣù tá máa kírẹ́sì ìyá kí ló dé tẹ̀ lọ́bíṣẹ́ lè ní ọmọ mi tún ní ó tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. So in that first 2 years, every parent must take note of this. In that first 2 years of life, you have the best opportunity to save yourself of worry, to save yourself of problem, and as Raymond will say it, to save yourself of hypertension. Because in those first 2 years, if you can give your child the best nutrition, starting with exclusive breastfeeding to supplementary feeding and to the best balanced diet that your child needs, by the time your child is now of age, you would have to spend less money in hospital, and you'll be having peace of mind for yourself too.
Having peace of mind for yourself too. Once again, studio line 09081811067. We have a caller here. Hello, good evening.
Ẹ má bínú pé ó kọ́kọ́ ṣe
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sir, ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sir.
àwọn bàbá àrùn adékìlá ní sá, ẹ má bínú.
Yes sir.
Mo kàn fẹ́ bèrè lè gbọ́dọ̀ dáa fún lára wa at the age of 70 and above. Ṣé bọ́tà dáa àti lórí bread?
Butter.
Well, sir, there's nothing that is bad. There's no food that is bad, first of all. Ìwọ̀ntúnwọ̀nsì ló nǹkan. So tó bá jẹ́ butter make sure pé the butter ten gel contains the right amount of nutrients and does not contain too much of unsaturated fats. Ìyẹn lè máa wò. Tẹ́ bá ti ra butter yín ẹ wo ara rẹ̀ pé ṣé kìí ṣe àwọn nǹkan tó máa fa jàmbá fún mi bí àwọn unsaturated fats ṣé kìí ṣe àwọn tó contain yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ pé fáwọn butter tó dára tàbí tó yẹ kéèyàn máa jẹ ni, you can use it, but just make sure.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tí mo ti kọ́kọ́ sọ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò yìí pé tá a bá fẹ́ ra nǹkan ní àwọn ilé ìtajà wa, a kì í wo ara agolo yẹn àbí àwọn nǹkan tí a bá fẹ́ rà yẹn bóyá wọ́n kọ sí pé nutritional fact, iye báyìí ní carbohydrate, iye báyìí ní sodium, gbogbo orú nǹkan báyẹn tá a bá ń wò á mọ̀ pé eléyìí ó ti pọ̀ jù fún mi láti ra o, jẹ́ kí n mú ìmíràn tó yẹ pé òun ló tọ́ láti rà. Ló fi jẹ́ pé a nílò láti máa wo ara àwọn nǹkan yẹn ká mọ̀ bóyá irú ètò yẹ ká máa jẹ ni àbí kì í ṣe irú ètò yẹ ká jẹ.
Okay, 09081111067 or 08080101067. We have a question on Facebook. If I like vitamins, doctor, what can I take?
You like vitamins, what can you take?
If I lack.
If you lack vitamins, what can you take?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Fruits, vegetables, and there are very many. You know, I didn't start by saying, okay, go and buy this tablet. That's not it. That's not sustainable in the long run. But you can start off by getting for yourself green leafy vegetables, nuts. You understand? Ground nuts, walnuts. I remember there was a time I was even seeing couples and I was counseling them on fertility. And this is the first thing I usually just tell the especially the men: walnuts, ground nuts. You understand? I mean, it's as if God just blessed us because God gave men nuts. So he made sure that all the necessary vitamins for wholesome health, especially even with fertility, he put all those things in nuts. So you can get a lot of vitamins in nuts, a lot of zinc, selenium, iron, niacin. A lot of them are present in nuts. A lot of them also in leafy vegetables. A lot of them in fruits. So start with those first of all, and you see improvements with time in your outlook, in your health state?
Okay. Now let me ask this question quickly before I ask if exercise can correct malnutrition. I like Gary a lot.
Confession time.
I'm on Jebu Nimi.
Confess.
Now, Gary, Epa, Granot. I mean, if I want to balance drinking Gary to make it a balanced diet, now I have Gary. What should I add to it?
Okay, let me tell you, Mom. I'm sure Ambassador will have our own version. So let me give you my own version. Let's understand first. So we want it to be balanced. Abi?
Yes.
Okay, so Gary is what? Carbohydrates. Okay, so we need to add protein. So let's find protein. So that protein can either be maybe meat, fried meat, or fried fish. Abi. So and when we're talking of fried, we're not just talking of one ode jatio ni kakanu. So let's get correct meat or correct fish. I mean, what obu cup Gary be meta. To bá máa fẹ́ jẹ iná jẹ́ kẹja ẹ náà jẹ́ ẹja tó máa ká tó ká ju tó yẹ tó máa ṣe pínísìn ọkọ̀ pínísìn you get sí gàrí tó bù. No, that's protein, abi. Now let's add some granules to it. Of course, there's water, abi. Okay, maybe you added sugar, but not too much sugar.
Yes.
Okay. For me, I try to add some milk too. Maybe just one sachet of cowbell.
Okay.
Abi. So I've added some vitamins and some other fats and minerals into it there. Okay, what else can I add? You know, that, Abi. Ambassador, what's your version?
Now, if you bring Gary out and you bring fish, you put granite. People look at it, uncle. You know, Ogbejada ni.
Àṣejù tí wọ́n.
O tún gbé ẹ̀pà.
Ẹ fẹ́ pa kẹ́tẹ́kẹ́tẹ́.
O tún wá fi ṣúgà sí àti milk.
Ẹ pàdé ọmọ Ádámọ̀. Everybody always have the opinion on things like this, but what we must tell them is that do these people know the right thing? Because you could be doing the right thing and they think that you're just overdoing.
Because they exactly. That, maybe you have money. That's
exactly. That's why I bought.
Look at the story of Ambassador. Look at the story of Commander. Commander said for each of those human beings that they were meeting, each of them thought they knew better.
Yes.
And they all kept fostering their own personal opinion as if it was a general thing. The question we should have asked those people that how do you think? I mean, don't you think these are things that are right, Abi? But you may actually be wrong. Do these people understand what balanced diet? Do these people understand how a balanced diet should be? But for me, that I understand what a balanced diet should be. This is what it should be. I have my Gary, which is my carbohydrates. I have my water inside. Yes. I have my sugar. I have my milk inside. And I have the right protein too, joining it, making a correct combo. So anybody saying less, then you should not say the MIB, but I joke. Balance you, let the person be the judge of it.
Even not looking from the side of balanced diet, some people are just thinking,
what you now do, after 2 months, no, it's simple. The results will prove it. Abi, okay, in the last 6 months, I lost hospital. The results will prove it. Whether I'm doing the right thing, you will see. Whether you are the one doing the right thing, you will see. I mean, the results will never lie. What you garbage into your body will give to you.
Give to you, definitely. Okay, quickly.
Under nutrition, you have low weight.
Yes.
It happens in the adults, like 60, 65 age. You do have such thing like that. And remember the last time we were discussing about the BMI, we discussed about the normal, the overweight, obese,
and extra.
We discussed a lot about that the other time. So if that is the case, I do tell you that whenever you want to embark on exercise, you need to check some things. It's part of what we are talking today now. Now, if you are underweight and you go into exercise without the knowledge of the instructor or anybody, you are on your own. So meaning that if you are underweight, you need to check it and be balanced before you can embark on exercise. But in the other hand, it's work for those who are obese. You see the high blood pressure people, those who are overweight, they are obese, and if they do exercise, it will bring down the excesses in their body that made them to be overweight. The doctor said it the other time that 2 types of malnutrition we have: undernutrition, we have over
nutrition.
So it works for the overnutrition,
Overweight, yeah.
so that we'll be able to correct their weight and everything will balance so that they won't be obese. But those ones that they have low, they have to build it up before they can embark on exercise.
Okay, quickly. Mo máa ń gbọ́ kínní. Mi ò jẹun, mo kàn ń tóbi ni. Ẹjọ́ kí ló fà?
You're running, my brother. You're running. Who told you I will gel? A lot of people with me will gel. Ask the person. Okay, when the last time you ate, what can we see with the thing you ate?
Then it depends on the kind of food.
Exactly. Have you seen how people eat? Raymond, what you see them eat for and conscious you need to see what's in that. Exactly.
So me also gel.
And that's the first
early on
that
this
person
program,
eating
when
for
we first
that day.
started this program, that
Problem
problem táwọn mi máa ń mú ni pé nígbà tí ó bá yẹ kẹ́ ẹ jẹun lásìkò tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹun lásìkò, àwọn stored glucose nígbà tí ó bá jáde, ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kọ̀ ọ̀yọ̀kù ni ó jáde, torí tí wọn ò rán yẹn ni ó ṣe pé eléyìí torí ń fọ́ yìí ó dà pé brain ti ń sọ fún pé ebi ń pa jẹun bá jùdá akàn jùdá alẹ̀ sí lára ni akàn jùdá alẹ̀ sí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti jùdá alẹ̀ báyìí ni ó kàn mọ́ fẹ̀ sí ó sì mọ́ pé kí n tó jẹun mi ì jẹun oúnjẹ mélòó gan mo lè má jẹun jẹ kan lójúmọ́ lọ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀kan tí ó jẹ oúnjẹ gan ìjẹ kàyà ni ó jẹ.
We're not saying that there's a genetic component to it, right? But this is it's very minor. It's not common amongst people. I mean, there are some persons actually that the way their own body is built up, the way their body is wired is different from yours and my body, such that when these people eat little amount of food, they build up fat easily. But this is not I mean, it's just a few people that have this kind of conditions. A lot of us, it is whatever you take in that your body will store.
Yeah.
So we pay me excuse me, sir. You don't like that. Exactly. Or even that when you say you are not joking, the time you are now eating, maybe the only thing you are not eating at that time is fat. So how do we put that?
Okay, tell me fast spell. This is 4:57. But before we go, just in a minute, when should we eat? Morning, afternoon, night? Because some people don't even know. Some people can eat 10 o'clock. Some people can eat 1 o'clock in the midnight. So in a minute, when is it? I mean, the right time to actually eat?
Well, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, but I will give this my own personal opinion about it. I think the right, the common schedules of morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is okay, right? However, particularly about dinner, let's ensure that we at least take this dinner before, say, 8 p.m. in the night. Let's avoid eating late into the night, because this also can cut all this food to eat. I mean, try to take something that's light with breakfast, and then my lunch, I try to have it a little bit more, a little bit heavy, though balanced, so that I can still be able to run around and get all the energies I need. And then for the night dinner, I try to have it a bit light and kind of medium too. So morning breakfast, afternoon lunch, and nighttime dinner, I think it's universally accepted. So let's keep going with it.
On that, I have something to chip in.
Okay.
The way we are eating is what is causing all this problem of malnutrition. Number one, if you want to eat breakfast, there is time for breakfast throughout the world. This also time you have to take your breakfast, but I won't eat anytime here. And you eat breakfast that time because I àsìkò wà láti sáré káàkiri jama títí tí ó fi di ìrọ̀lẹ́. Ó bá pẹ́ láàárọ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé yẹn ló bá wù ẹ́ jẹ, jókòó ti yẹn àtẹ̀fọ́, ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀gúsí àbí ẹran kí ló fẹ́ pepper soup gbogbo ẹ̀ ló fẹ́ jẹ tó bá jẹ ìgbà tó bá fi máa di ọwọ́ ìrọ̀lẹ́ gbogbo tó jẹ ó ti digest. Now oúnjẹ ọ̀sán lásìkò tá a máa ń jẹ, ṣé rí oúnjẹ àárọ̀ as early as good morning làwọn èèyàn jẹ breakfast bíi 8, 7, 8 ní gbogbo àgbáyé. Oúnjẹ ọ̀sán 12 náà máa ń lọ jẹ lunch bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dé anywhere in the world bọ́n ṣe ṣẹ̀dú ẹ̀ ni. Then oúnjẹ alẹ́ ó pẹ́ jù 6, between 5 and 6. Ìgbà mígbà ọwọ́ ọ̀rọ̀lẹ́ 4 ni. Ní ìgbà kan wà tó yẹ pé wọ́n bi wá léèrè nígbà tá a dé country yẹn pé táìmù la fẹ́ jẹ dinner wa, mo ní yóò tó bí aago 8 àbí 9. Wọ́n làwọn ti gbọ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ kó wa dé nígbà tá kó wa débi tí wọ́n kó wa dé wọ́n kó gbogbo oúnjẹ síwájú wa. Mo ní oúnjẹ lè gẹ̀ ṣé yóò lè bá a ṣe ń jẹ́ ìtàn ní ọmọ digest nígbà tó yẹ pé ní gbọ́rọ̀ ẹlẹ́fẹ́ jẹun alẹ́ láago 9. So at the end of the day kẹ́ tó rìn láti bẹ̀ sí hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì gan oúnjẹ ti digest inú yín ló fi jẹ́ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ gbà tá a fẹ́ jẹun ká dẹ̀ jẹun kíákíá kó tó di pa lọ sí ibùsùn wa.
Okay, we have to go now. 5 p.m. We have to say a very big sorry to the next program. Definitely. We're very sorry about that. But we have to say our BYE and of course on the program. Thanks, Doctor, for coming. Thanks,
Thank you,
Ambassador, for
Raymond.
coming.
Thanks so much.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
many thanks,
Thanks
to
for
our,
having us.
Thank you.
thanks so much to our producer, Babatunde Tiami. Until next time, when we come your way again on Fitness, I will say, the rest of the sport is live. Always endeavor to exercise your heart. Enjoy the rest of your day.